Auction Monday. This is the Y series auction. First item on the list, Y01. This one is raw mystery chert from Oklahoma, I think, from my friend Roy. Gray, low quality raw. This is the stuff that I was making my original woodworking tools, the stone tools for woodworking. Same stuff. I have, some big chunks of it, so I napped this one down. 7 7/8 inches long by 2 5/8 inches wide by 11/16 inches thick, 3.8 to 1 ratio, 7.2 ounces or 3150 grains. Okay, it is sharpened all the way around. It's a fighting style knife, very substantial mass, very substantial grip. I was going to keep it for myself, but you know how that goes. I'm rarely keeping anything for myself these days. I've got a few items, but that's about it. Okay. It napped all right. I was able to get all the step fractures out of it, except maybe a few. I like it. All right. Next item on the list. Y02. This one's a raw Buffalo River, yellow and tan, medium quality raw, 4 1/16 inches long by 2 1/16 inches wide by 3/8 inches thick, 5.5 to 1 ratio, 774 grains. Yeah, this one napped well, but I did have a couple of issues in here with spots that seem to be a little bit dicey. So I classified it as a medium quality raw instead of a high quality raw. Yeah, the yellow here is near the cortex. The tan is closer to the center, but it was a nice piece. It sharpened up rather well. This kind of raw stuff is very sharp. Now I did sharpen it all the way around. Okay. Next item, Y03. This one is a Central Texas chert heat treat tan, high quality heat treat, 2 7/8 inches long by 2 inches wide by 1/4 inch thick, 8 to 1 ratio, 344 grains. It is a little bit translucent around the edges. I really like this stuff. It's not that easy to get these days. Sometimes you can get a lot of it, sometimes you can't get any. So it's variable. I sharpened it all the way around. Just little bitty serrations on this one. Good for a hunting type, blade, or maybe even a little dart point. Okay. Next item, Y04. This one is Georgetown Flint, dark gray, very high quality raw, 2 1/4 inches long by 1 7/8 inches wide by 1/4 inch thick, 7.5 to 1 ratio, 308 grains. Another preform for hunting or whatever. You can put notches in it wherever you want. If you decide you want to modify it, it is sharpened on all sides. Very high quality raw. This stuff can spoil you, and you can try to thin it down really thin, but as it gets thinner, it gets harder to avoid the step fractures. So 7.5 to 1 is as far as I wanted to go on that one. All right, but it can go a lot thinner. Okay, Y05. This one I couldn't figure it out really. I got it in a batch of stone from my friend Randy. Let's see, Mississippi Gravel Chert, Raw, Buffalo River. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. Low quality raw, brown and black, 2 3/4 inches long by 1 1/4 inches wide by 1/4 inch thick, 5:1 ratio, 206 grains. Yeah, I labeled it as a low quality raw because it's very steppy. You really have to drive really, really hard to eliminate the step fractures, which causes overshots. It also causes you to hesitate sometimes to take a big flake because it's getting kind of thin. It reminded me of rhyolite, but not quite as bad. The edge quality doesn't crush as much as raw rhyolite does. Rhyolite will crush on the edges. These edges stand up very well. I wish I had a lot more of this so that I can make a bunch of points and get used to it, because you can make some beautiful stuff out of this. I just wasn't that experienced with it. It can be heat treated, I imagine, right? It's just an interesting piece. Yeah, it's the only piece of brown and black that I had. This kind of combination worked out okay. All right, next item. Y06 West Texas Tecovas Jasper heat treated Shumla type, high quality heat treat, 2 inches long by 1 3/16 inches wide by 3/16 inches thick, 6.3:1 ratio, 104 grains. Yeah, nice Tecovas Jasper. This one had no issues at all. It was a very, very nice point to nap. I enjoyed napping this, and I enjoy this particular style, the Shumla style. So yeah, I would keep it for myself, but I don't know. It just ends up hibernating in the box. All right, so next item. Y08. Yes. I am selling this Meadow Wood phase pressure flaker made of elm wood, cow bone instead of copper bits. Okay, the original. This is a artifact reproduction, right? But the original has copper bits. I made these bits out of bone. And as you can see on the video, I explain and I measure everything. So exactly what you see on the video, except the wrapping. I changed the wrapping to, this is hemp cordage, natural color hemp cordage. It is fastened with a little bit of Elmer's glue underneath. Put Elmer's glue on the wood and then wrapped it so that this wrap doesn't come off. This bit is also stuck in there with black hot melt glue. Okay, so it's not going to come out unless you heat it up. Take the wrap off, heat it up, then it'll come out. All right, that's what I think they used to do anyway. They would, use pitch or something to attach the bit first to the handle and then wrap it to make sure there's no splitting going on when you're doing your pressure flaking. Okay, just the regular Sharpie type marker or Bic marker, I can't remember, alcohol based. It shouldn't smear or anything when you're using it if you decide to use it. This marker is pretty good stuff. Okay. All right, next on the list, we got some boxes in this auction. Y07 box of broken bifaces. Some of it's heat treated. Most of it's various raw Texas cherts, ranges from low quality raw to high quality raw. Okay, so I'll show some of this stuff. I broke some of these things this week while I was working on them. I kind of was in a hurry. This one is a piece of heat treated alibates, but it had an internal flaw. I was hoping to avoid it, right? Internal crack in here. You can kind of glue it together if you want to. as I was trying to match the notches, an internal flaw showed up and wiped out this barb. But yeah, it's a heat treat, Alabates agatized dolomite. It's not a chert, it's an agatized dolomite. Interesting stuff. This one is a heat treat as well, some sort of Texas chert. I was going to make a nice fancy point out of it or something, but ran out of time. So I'm just offering it as a broke or biface. This one hurt. This is a high quality but very tough root beer chert. I hit it extremely hard to try to get another thinning flake, and as luck would have it, broke it. But it's interesting. It's very hard to nap, but once you get used to it, you can run some really good thinning flakes. All right, so there's some other stuff in here. Some of this is heat treated. I'm not sure exactly. It's kind of root beerish on some of these. Various raw Texas cherts. This is a piece of Georgetown, very thin flake. I napped around the edges a little bit just to get the weak spots off. Another piece of Georgetown, raw Texas, low quality chert. It can be heat treated. All this stuff, except, well, even the Georgetown, yeah, can be heat treated. Root beerish looking chert can be heat treated. Big old chunk of tough, medium quality, I would say, Texas chert. Low quality Texas chert. It can be thinned down though if you get used to it. I think it's the same stuff here. It's easy to snap because it has, flaws. This one has a little crystal in there somewhere. Texas chert. I don't know. I think this might be. No, this is raw. I was going to say it might be heat treated. I think this one is heat treat. Nice color to it. Kind of caramel color. This one is probably raw. Tough stuff. I think these are raw pieces of Texas chert, yeah. But if it naps really easy, then it's a heat treat. This one might be a heat treat. All right, so there you go. Put these back in the bag so I don't lose these pieces. All right. Okay, the next 4 items, Y09, Y10, Y11, and Y12. These next 4 items are just boxes of Georgetown Flint of various grades. Flakes of Georgetown Flint of various grades. You're going to get a box similar to this. I'm going to stuff these boxes as full as possible with these Georgetown Flakes. Okay, this gives you an idea. It's not totally full, so I just put enough in there to get an idea. See if I have enough for 4 boxes. And I do have enough to fill up 4 boxes. Flat rate, small. All right, so you get an idea how they look. Okay. Just quickly go over the rules. So this video doesn't take forever. It's not a live auction, as you all know. If you have any questions about how this auction is conducted, just look at the previous videos and look at the comments. You bid in the comment section, okay? Auctions will begin 12 noon on Mondays Eastern Time and end at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 8 Central, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific Time. Okay? Try not to bid at the last minute. That's pretty obvious. I might not see your bids, or your bids may not post in time. I'll be using YouTube's time tracker. All right, so just be aware that YouTube's time tracker, or it keeps track of when you posted your comment, is not always accurate. which is a bummer, yeah. But everyone can see it. That's the advantage. Everyone can see. It's all in the open. If you think you're bidding at the correct time, but you miss it because YouTube didn't record your time correctly, then you missed it. I'm just going to award the item to the person who bids on time according to YouTube time. So just please be aware of that. All right. I'm going to pre-populate the comment section with the items, with the item numbers, and just bid under the appropriate comment or reply to the appropriate comment that has the item that you like. I'll monitor the comments periodically, but the best way to ask questions or resolve issues is to send me an email. My email is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Right there. jackcrafty2@gmail.com. I'll announce the winners by commenting this generic comment, sold, thank you, blah, blah, blah. There's no way for me to send you a private message if you win. So pay attention to the comments, please. Keep yourself updated so you can see if I responded to you, see if you won or you didn't win. Okay, just you monitor the comment section. If you win, send me an email. If you've already done business with me, then it's not a big deal. I already know what your payment methods are and all that stuff. That's cool. But if you're new, send me an email, send me your information so I know who you are, your YouTube name, your real name, your PayPal name, your whatever, just so I know who you are, and then send me your address so I can send you the item. All right. Shipping is free in the U.S. Yes, free in the U.S. But if you're international, I will ship to you, but I'll add the cost, some cost onto that winning bid. If I send it first class package, it'll be an extra $10, $20 extra for small priority flat rate, and $40 extra for medium priority flat rate boxes. Okay? I accept PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, checks or money orders. I can also send you an electronic invoice to your email that you can pay with a credit card. I'll issue refunds if needed. If you can't pay for some reason, I'll award the item to the next highest bidder. Shipping will begin on Tuesday after the auction. I will provide tracking numbers. All shipping will be done through the post office. I'm going to sign all items unless you don't want me to. And a lot of these buy faces and brokes, I don't sign. As just the default, I don't sign the stuff that's not a finished point usually. Okay. Just try not to bid at the last minute. Everything tends to get clogged up. If everyone's doing everything at the last minute, I might not see your bids. If for some reason there's an issue and you really like the item, I'll try to make you a duplicate if you don't win. Let's say that you have the highest bid and I don't see your bid, which does happen. I'm going to announce the winner, but if you have the highest bid and I didn't see it, then I'll try to make you a duplicate. But duplicates are getting harder and harder to make because my supply of stone is getting pretty low. All right, so just be aware of that. Okay? All right, that's it for this particular auction. Hope your weekend was good, and good luck.